which has shattered its own grim record. Over 1.3 million COVID cases have been recorded in a single 24-hour period. This is the highest single-day surge recorded by any country anywhere in the world. America's previous record was over 1 million cases per day. The data dump came on Monday after several states refrained from reporting case numbers over the weekend. That may have spiked the surge yet further. The 7-day average tally for fresh cases has now tripled to over 700,000 new infections every day in just 2 weeks. This is not the only landmark recorded. The US also surpassed its previous record of hospitalisations per day. There were more than 136,000 people hospitalised across the country as of yesterday. The surge is disrupting schools, subways, offices and airlines. Chicago has closed schools entirely for a fourth successive day. That a result of a dispute between city authorities loyal to President Biden and the state's powerful teaching union. Now the city and the union have agreed to resume remote classes from Wednesday.
I'm pleased to report that the Chicago Teachers Union House of Delegates voted to end their work stoppage. That means teachers will be back in classes tomorrow, and all students should return on Wednesday.
This agreement is the only modicum of safety that is available for anyone that steps foot in the Chicago public school, especially in the places in this city where testing is low and where vaccination rates are low.
Meanwhile, New York City has suspended services on 3 subway lines after a large number of workers reported sick, and the subway's plans for its own employees to return to the office have also been derailed. Deaths across the country are now averaging 1,700 per day. That's up from about 1,400 in recent days. Joining me now live from New York is WION's correspondent Susan Tehrani. And Susan, there's got to be an enormous amount of public disquiet out there because the White House for the last month has relentlessly been telling Americans that the United States has the tools to battle Omicron and this surge in COVID-19 cases, and yet it evidently does not.
2 years into this pandemic, it's hard to believe that the United States, which started really off as, putting out vaccines, and in the last administration, despite the criticism coming out with Operation Warp Speed, is really lagging behind in trying to really get the essentials out and curb a variant that is perhaps more transmissible but less deadly. And the country is essentially at a standstill, as you just reported. So yes, absolutely. On the one hand, you have the politics of the situation, and on the other hand, you really have not only essential workers like teachers, sanitation workers, police officers, metro workers, not coming to work because they're sick, but on the other hand, you have the bureaucracy in Washington on vaccine mandates and whatnot. And then to top that off, ordinary Americans are not getting proper messaging from CDC and health officials on what to do if they are sick, and they really can't get testing either in their hands, standing in long lines or whatnot, going to retail stores to really figure out if they are sick or not. So yes, it is an absolute disaster, and quote unquote having the tools, perhaps the tools are there, but utilizing the tools by this administration has been an absolute disaster, and we should call it for what it is.
Susan Tehrani, live for us this morning in New York. Thanks very much indeed for that update from there.